If you want to know about the three most important ways that you need to be using your money, no matter what your situation is right now, no matter what stage of your purpose that you're at, then I want you to stay tuned for this video. I think it's really going to help you. I think it's really going to bless you. So I knew I had to make this video today because the reality of abundance was so real today. It just reminded me about these really powerful, universal, and spiritual principles that are always at work no matter what stage, no matter what situation that you are currently in. These principles can always work for you. And if you start to take action and implement the things that I'm going to share with you today, I know that you're going to see the results in your life because it happens and it feels almost like magic. Okay, so I just want to let you know that I have the notes for this video right behind my camera. So I might be kind of staring intently or looking off to the side a little bit, but it's because I want to read my notes. And I just want to make sure that I'm giving you this information in the most clear and concise way possible. Don't mind me if I get to looking at you with the googly eyes. I'm only looking at my notes. Point number 1, the trusty 10. Hopefully this doesn't make anyone too uncomfortable, but I'm just honestly keeping it real with you. The trusty 10 is basically giving to trusted spiritual and holy organizations, and to do this type of giving regularly and systematically. And so the trusty 10, what is the 10? The 10 is 10% of your earnings. So if tomorrow you were to sell a pair of earrings for $10, you would want to take 10% of that and you'd want to give it away. Yes, you'd want to give it away to some place that has spiritually nourished you or taught you, or if it is some sort of trusted organization that has some sort of spiritual or holy backing. So if you have a church that you go to, or if you have a ministry or anything like that, some place that pours into you spiritually, that is the place that I would suggest that you regularly and systematically give your trusty 10, your trusty 10%. And giving is such an important principle. So no matter where you are in your purpose or where you are in your prosperity, the law is always the law, and it cannot be made void. That whatever you give will be returned to you. Whatever you sow, you will reap. Whatever you plant, you will harvest. And so this often sounds like a religious thing or a spiritual thing that a lot of people don't understand. And people have a hard time with money mindsets and their concepts around money. And so that's why this one can be so challenging for people to actually do. But also when you do it and you are in awareness of this, it can really change the game for you as far as your purpose is concerned and as far as your abundance and prosperity is concerned. If you always want to have a flow and a stream of abundance in your life, then you always need to be giving. The hard and fast rule for giving is the trusty 10, which once again, it means giving 10% of your earnings to trusted spiritual and holy organizations. And anytime that I share this information with people, especially people who are close to me, I always say like, hey, I really want you to meditate on it. Like, it's very important for you to give to some place that you trust and some place that you know is going to do good with the resources that you share with them. That's just one thing to keep in mind. You have been listening to me and so far and thinking, that sounds really familiar, then yes, you know it. This concept that I'm speaking about in this first point is also known as tithing. It is giving 10% of your earnings to the universe, or to give it back to God, if you will. Now we're going to get into point number 2. Point number 2 is to give and gift graciously. Now, this is probably sounding a little bit like point number 1, because point number 1 was about giving, and that is a really important principle here. You know, a couple months ago when I basically found this information, and when this information that I'm sharing with you today started to really change my life and change my abundance and change the flow of money in my life, it was because I picked up a book. I picked up a book in my church bookstore at the time. This was before everything went on lockdown, and I was actually at church. This might have been like one of the last times that I was actually physically in the church. But I was in the bookstore, and it's kind of a longer story, but I was in the bookstore and I picked up this book, and it's probably under 100 pages long. And this book was called The Secret to Unlimited Prosperity by the author Catherine Ponder. I finished reading this book, I think within 2 days of receiving it. And in this book, it said that the secret, or the answer to unlimited prosperity, was giving. That's why everything that I'm really talking about on this list today of the 3 important ways to use money, it has everything to do with how you're not only giving money, but exchanging money, and the ways that you're using it in your life at this current time. So point number 2, I just want to reiterate, is give and gift graciously. Giving gifts and charitable donations above and beyond the regular or standard giving of 10%. That is what makes point number 2 different. Point number 2 is all about going above and beyond. This particular point doesn't just have to do with your actual, physical money or currency. It also has to do with the ways in which you can contribute to others, in ways that you can serve and give valuable services to other people. So you can completely give and gift graciously with your time, with your skills, and doing things that generously come from your heart. So in the other point, which was giving the trusty 10, the trusty 10 is largely about giving actual money, giving up the actual 10%, not holding on to it so tightly, because that sets up a strained relationship with money. But for instance, in this book that I was mentioning by Catherine Ponder, one of the examples that she used is that there was this woman who had children, and she was very, very tight on money, and she felt like she had absolutely nothing to give. But somehow she came across this same information that I'm sharing with you today, and she learned that she could give something. And so she went into her garden, she plucked some flowers, she made a bouquet, she made a nice gift, and she gave it to her elderly neighbor. And when she gave these flowers to her elderly neighbor, she put this principle into action. And so upon her doing that, it was only a short time later that she received some relief in her financial situation. And so just to highlight another thing that was said in this book by Catherine Ponder, she says in this book, and this is the part that pushed me and urged me into action when I heard this information. Like, I didn't just hear this information, I actually put it into action right away as soon as I read these lines. The thing that she says in this book is that it's exactly when you feel like you have nothing to give is when you need to give most. that is precisely the time when you need to put these principles in actions. I believe, guys, I believe in my own life, and I believe for everyone who truly believes this, that when you put this law in motion, that it is actually flawless. It is actually flawless. So think about all the creative ways that you can give, all the creative ways that you can do this point number 2, which is to give and give graciously. So that brings me to point number 3. And point number 3 is about making aligned and abundant investments. What this point is all about is investing in yourself and investing money in the things that directly support your purpose, your goals, and your self-development. This is so important. So this is why this video in the title talks about no matter what stage of purpose and prosperity you're at, because purpose and prosperity, they line up, like they have such a strong connection with each other. And when you start using your money in aligned and purposeful ways, and when you are using that money specifically to invest in your purpose, which is the way you contribute to this world and make the world a better place, then you are doing a service to the entire world. So it is not just spending money on yourself, it is contributing to the world because you're contributing to your own growth. The way able to show up in the world and help other people, the way that you are able to contribute and be a blessing to other people, like God, the universe, wants that. It wants everyone to be in purpose, aligned with purpose, and making valuable contributions to others. So when you know that you have a gift in your heart, when you know that you can sing, and you're supposed to be using that gift of singing to glorify and to bring joy to others, that when you take your money and you invest it into equipment, or you invest it into studio sessions, or you invest it into some kind of vocal lessons for yourself, that is an example of an aligned and abundant way to invest in yourself. And I promise you that those types of actions as well will be rewarded. So sometimes the rewards that come with any of these forms of giving or any of these forms of exchanges, sometimes it is money, but sometimes it's also opportunity, and sometimes it's what you might call good fortune or favor. Those are all ways that this abundance can manifest. I think that it's important to remember that abundance is not just money. Abundance is not just money. Actually, abundance is really an energy. And that's why it's so important to remember that being gracious and giving and feeling like you already have it all and feeling like you already have enough and that you have so much to give on a vibrational level, that's saying that you are occupying already an abundant state. And when you're occupying an abundant state, more and more good things flow to you. And so that is just another reason, just kind of explaining loosely, why these principles work so well. Sometimes making aligned and abundant investments in yourself, yes, they are supporting your purpose, but also they're just supporting your best and highest self. So sometimes, and I know this from personal experience, when you are working and running yourself ragged, and you're forgetting about your actual physical appearance, and you're forgetting about your self-care, and you're forgetting about you're forgetting about your vessel a little bit. It's not superficial to make yourself look nice and to take those physical self-care moments and trim your nails and paint your toenails and things like that. Getting a haircut and all of those things, they're actually important. It's when we overindulge in things like that that we move out of alignment. So I actually have this story where It had been on my mind for quite some time that I wanted to buy some perfume for myself. Like, I wanted to buy some perfume because I just wanted to smell good. Like, I was in a situation where I had lost a lot of my belongings and a lot of the like stuff that I once had. And so it was actually like, if I want to smell good, I need to go out and buy the perfume. And so I made the decision as I was walking through a mall to stop in a perfume and fragrance shop, and I saw this beautiful display in the window of Marc Jacobs perfumes. And Marc Jacobs perfumes are like my absolute favorite fragrances. Like, I basically love like almost all of them, but my absolute favorite one is Daisy Dream. And so I made it up in my mind. My birthday had, not passed too long ago, so I'm like, this could be an extra birthday present to myself. So I went in there and I bought just a little roller ball, like a $25 roller ball, of Marc Jacobs Daisy. Just a quick one that I could put in my purse or whatever. And so the guy at the perfume shop, he was trying to get me to like buy this really like beautiful, like full bottle limited edition Marc Jacobs perfume, but I was like, I know, like I just want the rollerball. And so that's what I ended up getting. I just spent $25 on it. I popped it out of the box right away. I put it on myself. I was starting to feel so good, like, oh my goodness, I miss this fragrance, and I loved it so much. And so let me tell you, not even 2 hours later, after making that purchase, I was just walking down the street, pushing my dollar in the stroller, and I looked down on the ground, and there is $40. It's like the investment that I made in myself to buy that perfume, to just indulge a little bit in my self-care in a way that I hadn't in such a long time. It's like that investment I made in myself came directly back to me, and it was increased. So I spent $25 on the perfume, and I found $40 just laying there on the ground, no other person in sight. It's like God just plopped it down right back into my hand. So that brings up another point for me, that when you are giving graciously, when you're giving your 10%, and when you're investing in yourself, one thing that can block you up, one thing that can put a knot in your hose of abundance, is to believe or to hold the false belief that you are not supposed to receive things in return for your giving. So many people believe that they're just supposed to do good things and receive nothing in return. And this is a limiting belief, and it's an abundance block. Any blockage that you have, or any ways that you have resistance around receiving good into your life, are going to be things that block your abundance. But especially this one, when you give, when you do nice things for other people, it's important not to feel like you are obligated, and it's important not to obligate others to do things in return. But it's also important to know that the principle is that, as you sow, you shall also harvest. When you plant seeds, that you shall also return and be able to receive the fruits of your sowing. When you begin to take action on these principles of abundance and prosperity, it's important to work through these types of negative and limiting mindsets around your beliefs about receiving. So even if it's hard for you to accept help from other people, or if it's hard for you to ask for help, these are once again different types of things that put limitations on your ability to receive. So once again, using that analogy of there being a knot in your hose or your flow of abundance. So those are things to keep in mind. This is a quick recap of this video today, because I don't want it to get too long, because I can talk and talk and talk. I've had so many instances where giving, investing, and doing free services for people has resulted in me receiving so much blessings and abundance and favor in return. But I do just want to do a quick recap. So Once again, in this video, what I wanted to share with you is this powerful, powerful concept about the 3 ways that you should use your money no matter what stage of purpose or prosperity that you're currently at. Number 1 was the trusty 10, which was giving 10% of all that you earn. Number 2 was giving and gifting graciously. And so that means to give gifts and charitable donations above and beyond that regular 10%. And remember that these gifts, these things that you give, they can also be your services. They can be your help. They could be your gracious efforts just to help somebody out. It does not have to cost you anything to give to another person. And point number 3 was aligned and abundant investing in yourself, which means investing money, time, and energy in supporting your purpose, your goals, and your self-development. Because when you allow yourself to be the highest version of yourself, and when you are focused and putting energy into being a beautiful and gracious contribution to this world, then you're actually doing a service to the entire world. So the ways in which you make yourself better are contributing into the world. And that is why you can be rewarded for investing in yourself. So guys, that's the end of this video, and I hope that this truly helped you. I hope this information was new to you perhaps, but if it wasn't, I hope that it gives you a good reminder, a good refresher, and a confirmation of some of the things that you can be doing to live more abundantly, to be your highest self, and to be experiencing prosperity in the very stage that you're at right now. My name is Dorothy Marie, and I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video today. And I also want to invite you to subscribe to this channel because I'm going to be making more dedicated videos for YouTube, but also I want you to check out some of the videos that I've made, some of the lives and some of the content that I've posted over on Instagram at my Instagram page, which is going to be linked below. You'll see the details. It's at 7ochmarie on Instagram. And if you just want to get a little bit of an idea of more of the type of stuff that I'm going to be bringing here, then go check me out there. Also, go to my website, which is capacitynow.life, if you're interested in more tools and resources and even some great freebies that I have for you. Go over to capacitynow.life/quick links, and I'll link that below in the description box so you can check out some great mindset tools for yourself as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm wishing you peace and prosperity and progress, and I'll catch you in the next video.